Hey, good evening, everybody. JD here. Obviously, my partner Clayton's not here. He's going to some family, I think, in Minnesota for Thanksgiving, and of course, he picked up some laryngitis or something last week in Fargo, so you can't really talk too much in there. So you guys just got me tonight, and should be a good show. It's first time I'm doing anything like this by myself, but appreciate everybody joining me. Happy early Thanksgiving for those of you joining in. I'm sure you got family coming over something, and if not, hey, I'm your family for tonight. So normally Clay and I start out saying reciting the Second Amendment, but tonight, since it's the anniversary of President John F. Kennedy being assassinated, I'm going to give a little quote here from John Kennedy's Presidential Library and Museum about the Second Amendment. A lot of Democrats don't like the Second Amendment, and they be shocked here what President Kennedy had to say about it. So, January 29th, 1961, President John F. Kennedy spoke words that remain to be true to this day. He spoke about the importance of the Second Amendment and why it must not be subverted in any way. And here was his quote. The battle for American freedom was begun by thousands of farmers and tradesmen who made up the Minutemen, citizens who were ready to defend their liberty at a moment's notice. Today, we need a nation of Minutemen, citizens who are not only prepared to take up arms, but citizens who regard the preservation of freedom as a basic purpose of their daily life and who are willing to consciously work and sacrifice for that freedom. The cause of liberty, the cause of American, cannot succeed with any lesser effort. And that's pretty awesome because nowadays, I seriously doubt you'd hear that from from any Democratic president or presidential candidate. You certainly ain't going to hear anything like that from sloppy Joe Biden. So now let's start out. I said we're going to start out with I'm going to change hunting bullets, and I'll tell you why. I did get my deer, nice 3x3 muley buck, and I was kind of leery of using the SST bullet again. As a lot of you know, I got a new rifle and a chambered in 6.5 Grendel. Did a lot of testing on it, and so I shot this deer. We seen it and put the stock on it. I know a lot of people think I just shoot stuff out of a hunting shack. Didn't work that way. Took about I don't know, about an hour to get around to them. But anyways, the muley doe sniffed us out. My buddy Trav was with me, and I ranged where the deer was going to be at the top of this hill, and it was 158 yards. The deer started moving, so I rolled out I was going to have to do an offhand shot, which I did. I did one shot. I thought I nailed it pretty good right in the shoulder, and so I put another one in. He made it about another 25 yards. I put another one in, and I'll put a picture up here. You can see right where these bullets went right there. Oops. First one's right about center, a little high on the shoulder, and the second one's forward of it. Like I said, the first shot was about 158 yards. Second one there, I got him circled in red. The second one was, he was probably about, I want to say about 175 yards. And he turns and starts going up the hill. And I shot again. We thought I missed. And he's going over the hill towards our hunting shack. And I shot again. He was way past 200 yards and probably 250. Anyways, we went and looked for him. Ended up finding him. Had to finish him off. And couldn't believe it. I skinned him out. And the 123 grain SSTs is what they are. And went into the shoulder. Both of those shots went into his shoulder and didn't penetrate anywhere in the chest cavity. Didn't even penetrate the other side of his shoulder, to be precise. And neighbor guy was going to do a Euro for me, skin the top half of the neck and head. Called me and said, yeah, there was you hit him in the head too. It was like the back left part of his whole skull. The bone was shattered. So that assumed that was the one when he took off there up away from us. I was going to try and hit him in the neck and stop him, and I let him. Obviously I let him a little too far, but Tanner said it went in his neck about 3 inches below the skull, went up, didn't penetrate, just hit the bone again and blew up. And the last one my buddy Trav was with, he said you grazed his leg, which he must have Superman vision because I noticed that to his rear right leg. But that bullet definitely disappointed me, and it has disappointed me before. with my 6.5 Creed on a biggest muley buck I ever shot. Body wise, a bullet deflected, a square on chest shot, deflected into his shoulder there and broke some bones. But he took off running like nothing hit him either. But so I'm going to switch up to a different bullet for sure. Probably a bonded something. People are telling me to use like an ELD, which a lot of people don't think you should hunt with the match bullet. But I've been watching a lot of videos, and like I said, my neighbor Tanner hunts with them, and I mean he's killed way more deer than I have. Much younger guy, but he hunts way more, and that's what he uses all the time. So yeah, I'm getting rid of the SST. I know a lot of people say they love the SST. Haven't had any problems. In fact, Tanner told me the same thing, and some people that text me, my buddy Troy and some other guys. But I'm done with that bullet. Maybe a lot of people would say maybe that Grendel's too slow, but even at the muzzle velocity of I got the shorter barrel, a 16-inch barrel, and the muzzle velocity is 2,400. But even at 300 yards, it's still going just under 2,000 feet per second, over 1,000 foot-pounds of energy. And like I said, my first shot was at 158 yards. So there's no reason at all that bullet should have blown up that hard. But I don't know what you guys think of that, but that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to get into some chats here. I'm sorry I missed out on the chats. I don't got the big screen there like Clayton does, so bear with me in getting through all these here. I'll go through them. Hey, Trampus, good evening. Like I said, it's just me tonight. Clayton's headed to Minnesota, and he's got a little case of laryngitis. Brian Warner, good evening, MVE. Dave Fettig, I'll gladly wish you happy Thanksgiving today for turkey tomorrow. Pretty sure that's how Wimpy said that for a hamburger. Josh Patterson, what's up, buddy? Eric Newman, thanks for joining. Eric's regular. Hey, Corey, thank you, sir. Dan Brown, good evening to you. He's on the western edge of North Dakota. Happy Thanksgiving, Lynette, thank you. Hey, Brandon George, he's driving to Sioux Falls and listening. Appreciate that, buddy. Appreciate that a lot. Appreciate that. Oh, there's Clay. Good evening from deep in Commie, Minnesota from Clay. Hey, Clayton, how you doing there, buddy? Hope your voice gets better. And Eric says, get the Barnes TT-SX. Eric, that's definitely one of them that I'm looking at is the all copper round like that. Because the older I get, the more I'm getting into putting that round right through the shoulder. And as you can see, I'm fairly adept at doing that with that picture I put up. So Corey Merriman, 243, 100-grain PowerPoint Winchester. Yeah, that's a soft point for sure. 80, okay, or Federal 243, 80. Hey, Uncle Dean, happy Turkey Day to you as well. Thanks for tuning in tonight. Josh Patterson, never used the SST bullets, but the reviews I've seen on them, I'm not a fan. I've always used soft points, but last year I used the Nosler ballistic tip. Worked great. My son shot his deer this year with the Nosler AccuBond and performed very well. Absolutely. Well, see, like the AccuBond, that's that's a bonded bullet. The core and the jacket are bonded. SST just, man, it's not. I'm just done with that. Like I said, I had problems with that with my Grendel. I did kill him with my 308 years ago, and yeah, it did pretty good on that. But it's 1 out of 3, so it ain't hard for me to switch bullets, and that's exactly what I'm going to do. Maybe I will go to I'm probably not going to get drawn for a deer tag for another year or two now, so I got plenty of time to work on my reload. So not that I'm a big I just love reloading, but you can make yourself a lot of custom loads for that, and I do like that. So all right, anybody got anything else going on this bullet thing? If not, and you want to bring something up, I can come back to it for sure. If not, I'm gonna go on to the next thing. I'm gonna keep it, kind of going unless we get down a rabbit trail. I'm gonna try to keep it on about an hour or so tonight. So I know everybody, even if you're listening, you probably got, like I said, maybe got family or friends over for Thanksgiving. So but I appreciate you hanging with me. So next one I got going here, coming up next, the five stages of a hunter. So I don't know if anybody's ever heard of this. I have, and kind of got reminded of it the other day when I was listening to a podcast about, I don't remember. I think it was Gun Talk with, I can't think of his name right now. He's an older guy, but he's got a good show. Real quick, I'll get to another comment here. Dave says he would strongly suggest Nosler AccuBond 129. Man, that's probably a great bullet, Dave, but I can't stand shooting something that slow. It's just a thing with me. As he says here, they're designed for low velocity impact. They would work great in the Grendel. We've been hammering deer with the Creedmoors for years. Dave knows way more about bullet construction than me. I'm not going to disagree, but man, I think it'd probably be going like 2,200 out of my short barrel. I don't know, something about it's hard for me to even tolerate how slow mine is now, but yeah, I shoot it real good, and I like that shorter gun when I'm running the suppressor on there. So if you got any other suggestions, Dave, I'm open. That's why I asked Dave the other day. He actually owns 1760 Sports, and I was looking for the 120 Spear Gold Dot. They got the bonded core and the jacket. So we'll see. So anyways, the 5 stages of a hunter. This idea has been kicked around since about the mid 80s, following some research work by these 2 professors at the University of Wisconsin La Crosse, Robert Jackson and Robert Norton. They interviewed more than 1,000 hunters in Wisconsin, and they say as we get older, it's easier to see where we may be and remember some of the different things that we did in each stage. So I'll go through these quick, but I kind of went through them, and I kind of got like a couple of them mashed together. I can't really put myself in one of these groups, but so the first one is, which I think they got this one nailed down pretty good. They call it the shooter stage. The hunter talks about satisfaction with hunting being closely tied to being able to, quote, get shooting. Often the beginning hunter will relate he had an excellent day if he got in a lot of shooting, because shooting's fun. The beginning hunter will talk about the number of shooting opportunities. Missed game means little to hunters in this phase. I mean, I disagree with that somewhat. I didn't like missing. A beginning hunter wants to pull the trigger and test the capability of his firearm, which I would agree with that. I would agree with that. I would agree with most of that statement. Like I said, other than the one that missing means very little. I've always been disappointed when I miss targets, but I do. Beginning, I love shooting a lot. I mean, that's kind of why I think when I first started hunting, I took to pheasant hunting a lot more than deer hunting, because you get way more shooting in pheasant hunting. And I like rifles better than shotguns, but that's the way that goes. So the second one here, limiting out stage. A hunter still talks about satisfaction gained from shooting. What seems most important is measuring success through the killing of game and the number of birds or animals shot. Limiting out or filling a tag is the absolute measure. That one I definitely would agree with. I remember being in that stage, not pheasant hunting, jumping out. You see them in the ditch, just jump out and, blasting pheasants. You didn't care about working a dog or walking trees. You just wanted to get out and get all your birds and tell your buddies, hey, man, we limited out. It was awesome. And then you're kind of in a competition with your buddies to see who got the most, who shot the most deer and things like that, but not the most deer, but the most pheasants. And, I definitely would agree with what they got going on that. Third stage here, the trophy stage. Satisfaction is described in terms of selective game. A duck hunter might only take greenheads. A deer hunter looks for one specific deer. A hunter might travel far to find a real trophy. Shooting opportunity and skills become less important. The last part I disagree with. The older I get, I love shooting opportunities, but I pass up a lot of stuff. And skills become less important. No, not for this guy. Not for this guy. So, I mean, I got part of that, the trophy stage. I think the trophy stage, like for deer hunting, I pass up a lot of deer. When I was in the shooter or limiting out stage, I mean, you come to the last weekend of the season, some dink buck would come and you're like, well, I got to fill my tag. I can't eat tag soup. And you just do it. And, some people that never bothers them to do that. Me, I have no desire to ever shoot small deer again like that. I mean, even a doe, I look for a big doe. I mean, just getting a doe and I like to be a dry doe too. Call me a wimp, but I don't want to shoot something that has a fawn with it. That's just me. You do what you want. So then the next one we go here, the method stage. This hunter has all the special equipment. Hunting has become one of the most important things in life. Satisfaction comes from the method that enables the hunter to take game. Taking game is important, but second to how it is taken. That's not for me, but some people, I definitely know people like that. This hunter will study long and hard how best to pick a blind sight, lay out decoys, or call in waterfowl. A deer hunter will go one-on-one with a white-tailed deer, studying sign, tracking, and the life habits of the deer. Often the hunter will handicap himself by only hunting with black powder firearms or bow and arrow. Bagging limit or limiting out still is understood as being a necessary part of the hunt phase. And I got some of that, but I know people, like I said, who will limit themselves I don't limit myself. A lot of people, the older they get, think bow hunting's way better. Not me. I enjoy bow hunting, not nearly as much as rifle hunting. But I understand if people want to be that way. That's fine with me. They can do that. That's not for me. And I definitely have something in the method stage here in me a little bit. And last but not least, the sportsman stage. As a hunter ages and after many years of hunting, he, quote, mellows out. Satisfaction now can be found in the total hunting experience, being in the field, enjoying the company of friends and family, and seeing nature outweigh the need for taking game. I got a lot of that in me already, and along with some of this trophy stage and the method. So I'm kind of three, kind of consider myself three out of this five deal here. But I think for the most part, this is a fairly accurate, what do you want to call it, depiction of your stages of hunting. I don't know, which, I don't, maybe we should do it again. What I say, they did this in the 80s, right? Yeah, in the 1980s. Maybe we should try it again. I just seen one the other day. Hunting, people getting into hunting is up like 26% or something. I personally agree with my buddy John Arman. I think there's already too many people hunting, and Clay kind of is on board with that too. There's just not enough game for everybody. They reduced the tags in our unit for deer, and man, it's hard to see deer there. And after a couple, I know a lot of them are hiding, but it's the tags were down. But there's so many people driving around you can see, and I just think that's too many. But let's get back into some of these comments here. If I'm just falling behind, all right, I'm gonna go. Dave had one more. It will be an adjustment, but that is made for 1,100 feet per second impact. Okay, shooting and hunting, two different things. Yep, exactly, Sean. Dr. Corey Merriman, I've been hunting since 11 years old now. I'm 46 and still haven't used a box of ammo hunting deer. Granted, I haven't shot a deer since 09. Okay. Corey, I couldn't even let a box sit there like that. I'd have to go shoot it because I like shooting too much. So he said he's had plenty of opportunities. Eric Newman, dried doe tastes better. Okay, that's good to know, Eric. Kind of like you, Three Stooges, he said. 3 stages. Yeah, exactly. All right. Thanks, Corey. I think one thing I will say about bow hunting, the deer that I did shoot bow hunting, my whitetail buck I got opening day in 2011. My mule deer, I can't remember how many years ago it was. I was a buck, but that was like the second week. Those deer did taste to me far better than deer killed during the rifle season. But I don't know what you guys think of that. They were both bucks. I never did shoot a doe with my bow. I basically could have every time I went bow hunting, but whitetails are pretty thinned out by where I usually bow hunt. We had a blind, but the muleys are starting to take over there, so we could probably do the same thing there. But I'm really saying, if you guys catch me repeating something, go ahead and tell me. Because Clay's not here, so I'm kind of every once in a while you get that or some other thing. You're going, hey, One Shot Cap, thanks for joining, buddy. I tell you what, guys, it's our time for our first break here. So we're going to do our first commercial break here for our main sponsor, Lauer Auto. We'll be back shortly. Get yourself a cold one. Lauer Auto Repair. They're located at 309 South Washington Street in Bismarck, North Dakota, or give them a call at 701-258-6308. The team of mechanics at Lauer Auto can tackle any problem your vehicle is having, and when you do business with Lauer, you can be assured you're doing business with the Pro Second Amendment America First Repair Shop. There's plenty of other auto repair shops in the Bismarck-Mandan area, but why take the chance of patronizing a shop that might not have your beliefs at heart? Make no mistake, Lauer Auto is your Pro Second Amendment repair shop. When you talk to the guys at Lauer Auto, don't forget to tell them you heard they're a sponsor of Guns and the 701 and that you appreciate their support of our Pro Second Amendment, Pro North Dakota live stream and podcast. That's Lauer Auto Repair, 701-258-6308, located at 309 South Washington Street, Bismarck, North Dakota. Absolutely. Thank you again, Lauer Auto Repair, for being our number one sponsor and our first sponsor for that matter. And you guys go in and patronize Doug and the boys down there at Lauer Auto. Make sure and tell them you appreciate them sponsoring our live stream and all the videos we do. It's awesome having sponsors, and as Clay said a number of times, either we couldn't do it without them or it'd be a hell of a lot harder. So we appreciate you guys, and please, hey, we got to rub each other's back. You guys like the show? Help out our sponsors because, like I said in the ad, you're going to the best repair shop in Bismarck. All right, so we're gonna stick with kind of the hunting theme here. I'm a big fan of hunting with suppressors. I when I go hunting, I pretty much don't go without a suppressor on my rifle. It's hard for me to comprehend why people wouldn't want to hunt with one. I mean, the only drawback really is makes your rifle a little longer, which is why most of my hunting rifles are shorter barreled. But I had 24-inch barrels with the suppressor on it. But you can buy the K cans now, the Kurs. That's German for short. They're short ones, so it doesn't make and they're light. And it doesn't, if you never hunted with a suppressor, it doesn't, if you shoot, it's not like the movies where it's quiet and all the animals, stand around. Sometimes they'll stand around. Mule deer will even stand around when you shoot sometimes without the suppressor on. But when I shot mine with the suppressor, trust me, they all took off running. So, but it takes away recoil. It's so easy on the ears. I got a little bit of tinnitus still from years ago. My buddy Bill shot his 300 Win Mag with that ported barrel, and yeah, my right ear's rang ever since then. So I'm going to go through it here. The 6 suppressor ready, they say affordable rifles. And when they say that, they're saying sub 700. Well, I looked up a couple. They're probably a bit over 700. And when they're saying suppressor ready, they mean, you're buying it and the barrel's already threaded, basically. I know my buddy Randy he had a daughter's rifle threaded, I think, because he bought a 30 cal suppressor is what he bought, and then have multiple mounts on different guns. And I think to take the barrel off and do all that, it used to be about $70, and I think he said he ended up paying like $150 now, which is definitely more than when you can buy one of these. So, and they got them in no particular order here. I'm going to go through. Number one they got here, it's number one on their list. It's not in that, like they say it's number one, but Ruger American Predator, which I'm a huge fan of the Predator. And like I said, I got a ranch. I got 2 Ruger ranches actually, and they got the 16-inch barrel, and they come threaded too. And the Ruger Predator comes with a 22-inch. But I had a Predator in 6.5 Creed, ultra accurate. I'm kind of anally retentive, so I didn't like something about the bolt on it. They ended up being just that particular model, but I would definitely recommend, when people ask me to get a Ruger American Predator or a ranch, you will not be disappointed. These things, every one of them I ever shot, I had a Creed, I got a Grendel, I got a 223, I had a 17. My buddy Wyatt from the Blind Guy had all those things shot lights out, awesome. You get a little like machining marks or something on the bolt, and it's minute stuff. But I mean, if you're just looking for accuracy and something that shoots good, get one of these. And I would also say get the ones that take the AR-15 mags. They have 308 ones too. I believe they take like the Magpul P-Mag, the 308 ones, short action. Just those there are other ones like they're what the heck do they call them? Whatever, they're flush fit mags. I can't remember, rotary mags. In my opinion, junk. I had one of those in my Creed, and that thing sucked. My buddy Travis, his son, has one that's still the same thing. You can kind of do this little aftermarket altering to them. I found it on YouTube and did it. Made them work better, but just save yourself the problem. Get yourself one of these if you get one that takes the AR-15 or 308, larger caliber mags. And these Predators, they usually come, I've ever seen them, is like the OD green. And you can get like special edition ones with the Go Wild camo. Same with the ranch rifles. But most of those come in FDE like mine do. But they got a bunch of different colors you can get too. So, and of course, the chamberings in these 204, 223, 22, 250, 6 Creed, 6.5 Grendel, 6.5 Creed, 308, 7mm 08, and 350 Legend. Retail price says $619. Yeah, I would say they're a little more than that now. I think when I got my ranch from Dave, that was $519, but I think the Predator is going to be a little more. So, and it's usually $100 off of what they say the retail. So I'd bet you any money this Predator doesn't come in at $519. Next one they got, I didn't even know about this one. This thing sounds pretty cool, actually. Winchester XPR Stealth SR. I'm going to put these comments back up here in case if I'm missing some of your guys' comments. Like I said, I'm sorry. It's just me, and it's usually me and Clay are both watching. But I'll get to your comments. Don't worry about it. Again, Winchester XPR Stealth SR, which SR stands for suppressor ready. And they come 3 models, differ from one standard, with the shorter 16-inch barrel, which is this, right? The SR 16-inch has a threaded barrel for easy can attachment. Dark green composite stock identifies the model. MOA trigger, free-floating button rifled barrel. Bolt unlock button, nickel Teflon, coated bolt, and Inflex recoil pad. So I would say, just going back to the Predator too, they do have a sweet trigger on them. You can adjust it, and I don't have no complaints about trigger on that Ruger. This Winchester, I mean, they got a lot of stuff. I like they got this Teflon coated stuff. So this thing sounds pretty sweet. This recoil pad. Ruger Predators have pretty good recoil pads on too. I actually looked this up. Bud's Gun Shop, they were $590 for the 243 Winchester. I'm sure the rest of them calibers are about the same. So, but that seems pretty reasonable. $590, and these Winchesters, my brother-in-law's got one. Browning Winchester, I think they're the same thing. Sweet rifle. Chamberings from that go from 223, and they're going all the way up to 6.5 PRC actually in these. So, them PRCs are sweet. I actually shot. Can't remember what Tanner's dad came down before deer season to our gun range. 7mm. They make that 7mm PRC, 7P. Yeah, I don't know. I shot it. It was pretty cool though. And I say, yeah, it comes with included with this Winchester is a muzzle brake for those times when a suppressor may not be warranted. I mean, what time is that? Suppressors are always warranted, in my opinion. So, all right, I'm gonna get to see these comments here. We got. Dave, I believe when it comes to bullet selection, one size fits all might not be an option for all. Agreed. Muzzle velocity, bullet diameter, and bullet weight have a great factor on the bullet type. Barnes TTSX is monolithic. Yep, I actually got a bunch loaded for my dad. I hope he gets to try it on a deer. They hit like hammers, but on long range shot, bullet speed is reduced and it does not open and perform the same as it would on, say, 100 to 300 yards. Agreed, and that's kind of why I'm little leery of the monolithic bullet for my Grendel. I've looked at the impact speeds for opening, and what you experience with the SST is commonly known as a Hornady splash, unloading all its energy on the pelt. Yeah, and if anybody remembers, Dougie and I before deer season he had the 10% ballistics gelatin, and at 250 I shot it, and like I said, that was 2,400 muzzle velocity, and that hit at 250 yards, and I mean. It went in about 3 inches and opened up, man. And that wound cavity, I think it was like 11 or 12 inches. I was a little leery of that because there was not, that bullet just blew up in there. It was everywhere. And, it turned out like I thought it would for me. Not good. But I got my deer. Good thing we had to track it, by the way. Thanks to my buddy Trav having a good eye and spotting it for me. Thank you, Travis. It went in the direction I thought. He made about 400 yards and he bedded down, but we got him then anyway. So, okay, Gene Cox here. Hey, Gene, thanks for joining, buddy. Dan, I have one of the early Ruger American 223 with the rotary mags. Ended up with 3 mags. Only one works well. Yeah, Dan. Like I said, go on YouTube and punch in there. Fix for Ruger rotary mags. It's worked on a couple of them and a couple it hasn't for me, but it's kind of an easy fix to do. But give it a try. Maybe you can get them all 3 to work. Yeah, I don't know why Ruger doesn't fix that, because those rotary mags suck in my opinion. That's one bad thing I got to say about Ruger. Brandon George, still love my Browning 270 LR. Right on. Hey, I got nothing against the 270. I'm just a lot of people know I've had some shoulder surgery, so could I shoot a 270? Yeah, I could just take it and shoot once and then more than likely get done what I wanted to do. But could I place some shots like I did on that deer this year if I didn't practice a lot? No, and honestly, I'm not trying to brag. I'm probably better offhand shooting than a lot of people are, but I like to shoot my deer rifles a lot. A lot of people don't. All my guns that I shoot, I like to shoot a lot. So, and if my shoulder hurts and I got to shoot something and then it ain't like a 270 really kicks super hard. but it's enough when you got some meat missing and your shoulder's been rebuilt a few times to affect it. And hey, I'm 52. If I live to be 80, I still want to be shooting. And if I damage the hell out of it now, I don't feel like learning how to shoot left-handed. I've done it. I was okay at it, but no thanks. And Lynette says, ethical shooting, Jamie. Thank you, Lynette. Appreciate that. All right, let's go here. So last one we had the Winchester. This one's kind of cool here, actually. This next one here. It's the CVA Scout V2 Takedown. It's the only single shot on this list. Still made in Connecticut Valley. I mean, get out of Connecticut, you guys. Ugh. And the break, it's a break action. I don't know a lot of people enter to see these things are freaking cool. I was actually in Double H Guns the other day, and a guy was trading one. And it was Cheech, I think. He was trading his break open 22-250 for 223. I think he was getting a Savage of some sort. Anyway, this V2 Takedown, it's black synthetic. Got all kinds of calibers. Barrel lengths are either 22 or 25, depending on your caliber. Made in Spain, and it comes topped with a scope rail for it right away. Which, before I get sidetracked here, the caliber lineup: 243, 6.5, 35 Whelen, 350 Legend, 300 AAC, which a 300 AAC. They're kind of not as quiet as I think they are when you shoot an AR, but man, on these single shots, I seen a video. I don't know if Dustin Ellerman was doing it on something, but God, that thing was so quiet. It was unbelievable. And 243s are available as a Scout TD compact. So that must come in like with a 16-inch barrel would be my guess. So that's pretty sweet. If you like just a single shot, really, really make it challenge for yourself to, if you miss and don't have a good follow-up shot. I like those things, actually. I mean, a lot of people probably think that's weird because I'm such an AR nut, but I think they look cool. And I don't know, there is maybe something to that, I got one shot kind of thing. My dad's got a single shot 22. That thing's pretty sick too. I like shooting that because, it's real light. Single shot's usually super light too. So, all right, everybody, a lot of people know this one, but the Howa 1500, they make one of these. The barrel's threaded for it. Not all of them. Not all the Howas are. You got to be careful with some of these. They say that, but make sure they do. And a lot of these mini actions that they make, like the 223 6 arc, and they usually come with it threaded. But make sure you do. The chamberings go from 250 up to 300 PRC. I think Howa, they pretty much chamber them, and they got a detachable mag. I know Howas, you can buy that kit too. Comes with get like a 10-round detachable on it. So if you like Howas, I always thought they were kind of heavy, actually. I had a Howa 308. Shot pretty good, but that thing seemed pretty tanky to me. And then a Mossberg Patriot Predator. And these things come 7 chamberings, 3 barrel lengths, 16 1/4 up to 24. So I had a Mossberg Thunder Ranch 223. It takes AR mags. Shot real good. And I also had a 308. I couldn't put anything in that gun to get it to shoot. It shot like crap. My buddy Travis's son Austin had like the long range one with the, I don't know what you call them, the stock on them, but that thing sucked too. He tried everything in there. It didn't shoot worth a damn. But they claim this, according to guns.com, this Patriot Predator shoots great. 22 250, 243, 308, 6.5 Creed, 450 Bushy, 6.5 PRC, 7mm PRC. Yeah, that's what I shot there of Tanner's dad's PRC. These things come in flat dark earth or true timber, Cerakote camel. It retails at $568. That's pretty good. I think my buddy Stuart actually has one of these in 6.5 Creed. He said he loves it. He said it shoots awesome. And I see he shot a deer like 600 yards with it, so that was pretty cool. Last one on the list, Savage 110 Predator. Yeah, I mean, it's hard to beat these. We had some of these at NRA banquets too. These are pretty sweet rifles. And they come, 223, 204, 250, 243, 260, 308 Creed, fluted, button rifled heavy. And I looked those up too. They say everything on here was like underside. These are like 740 at Bud's Guns, but everything is more expensive now under our buddy Joe. So that's just something we got to get used to. Dave says the Howa 1500 shares the barreled action with the Winchester XBR, I believe. Yep, Japanese. I'm pretty sure you're right there. Dave, that how was our made in Japan. Japan has, Japan has awesome steel. I'll give them credit for that. They do have they do have good steel compared to a lot of ours. But all right, so we're at 740 here. I'm going to do the double ad. This one's going to take a little longer, but that's fine. Should be back here in about 3 minutes, I do believe, and then we're going to hit. What are we going to hit next year? We're going to do. Oh yeah, we got the Second Amendment bullet point here, the two-way BP coming up. So hang in there. We'll be back shortly.
Lauer Auto Repair. They're located at 309 South Washington Street in Bismarck, North Dakota, or give them a call at 701-258-6308. The team of mechanics at Lauer Auto can tackle any problem your vehicle is having, and when you do business with Lauer, you can be assured you're doing business with the Pro Second Amendment America First Repair Shop. There's plenty of other auto repair shops in the Bismarck-Mandan area, but why take the chance of patronizing a shop that might not have your beliefs at heart? Make no mistake, Lauer Auto is your Pro Second Amendment repair shop. When you talk to the guys at Lauer Auto, don't forget to tell them you heard they're a sponsor of Guns and the 701 and that you appreciate their support of our Pro Second Amendment, Pro North Dakota live stream and podcast. That's Lauer Auto Repair, 701-258-6308, located at 309 South Washington Street, Bismarck, North Dakota.
Guns and the 701 is sponsored by the Blind Guy of North Dakota. For all your custom window coverings, you can contact them at 701-222-3932. They're freedom-minded, they're patriotic, and they love the Second Amendment. This husband-wife team was born and raised right here in North Dakota and based out of Bismarck. Again, for your Second Amendment company, for all your custom window coverings, the Blind Guy of North Dakota, 701-222-3932, or visit them on the web at blindguynd.com.
Right on. Like I said before, appreciate our sponsors. You guys are awesome, and you guys do business with these people. You're doing it with Pro Second Amendment, Pro Freedom businesses, and please tell them, yeah, you heard it on Guns in the 701, and you very much appreciate them sponsoring this. Don't forget, on Fridays, you can still catch Clay and I at 8:15, KFYR 5:50 a.m., Mitchell in the morning with the Guns in the 701 crew. This Friday, though, not going to be there. Clay's still going to be out of town, and my buddy's still got a buck tag. My other buddy's got a doe tag, and my dad's got his gratis. So we're going to be hunting hard, and Friday looks like a good day. We haven't missed a day on there in over a year, so I guess we're entitled to miss one. Dan Brown, Hawa 1500 and Weatherby Vanguard are the same gun. Yep, other than the stock, right? The Hawa's got the Hogue stock. They're made in California. Hogue makes awesome stuff. I like Hogue stuff too. But yeah. Yep. Dave replying to Dan Brown, correct. I always mix those up. Yep. I thought that was it, but I didn't say nothing. Dan, thank you for adding that in. I appreciate it. I probably get a little too into my technical geek stuff on here. So I apologize if I feel like I'm kind of boring tonight. So we're gonna talk a little deer hunting before the show's over here yet. Not just about mine, but about your guys' and what everybody's. Because I love talking about deer hunting. Love it. I love everything about deer hunting. Anyway, so I'm only going to do one Second Amendment bullet point tonight instead of two because I still got the happy ending coming up. But here's my two-way bullet point for tonight. Judge John Milton Young handed down a decision Tuesday in which he found that the statute prohibiting gun possession after a DUI violates the Second Amendment. I mean, I figured that before this happened, but a lot of people don't. The statute 922G1, that's what it is, and Young reached his decision after weighing in light of the Bruin decision from 2022 Supreme Court. This is in Pennsylvania. Had to burp there. You know what sucks about doing this yourself? I'm not having much time to drink my Coors Light, speaking of drinking here. This guy, the plaintiff in the case, Edward A. Williams, filed suit because he was being denied the ability to possess a gun because of a 2005 DOI conviction. Now, this guy he should have learned his lesson on drinking and driving, but I don't think that should take away your Second Amendment rights. Williams was arrested for driving under the influence in April 2000 and again for his second DUI in 2001. Charges related to the second arrest were dismissed. I actually know a couple of my buddies who got let off from DUIs. That's lucky. But yeah, I do know some people it happened to. He was arrested again in 2004 with a blood alcohol content of, oh, look at here, 0.223. If anybody doesn't know, that's God's cartridge, 223, which is well over the legal limit of 0.08 in Pennsylvania. In 2005, Williams was convicted of DUI at the highest rate of intoxication, which, based on his prior offense in 2000, is a first-degree misdemeanor punishable by up to 5 years in prison. Judge Young noted that the conviction disqualified Williams from possessing a firearm under 922 G1. I don't know what the G1 means in Pennsylvania. Gangster of the first class. I don't know. Young pointed to Bruin and noted the Supreme Court has held that an individual's conduct may fall outside the Second Amendment protection only if a firearm regulation is consistent with this nation's historical tradition. So I don't recall the founders and framers taking away people's Second Amendment rights when they were riding around on their horse drunk in town. Do you guys? I mean, if you do, let me know. Let me know, because I don't think that was happening. So again, Judge Young continued, prohibiting plaintiff's possession of a firearm due to his DUI conviction is a violation of his Second Amendment rights, as it is inconsistent with the United States tradition of firearms regulation. The Constitution protects individual conduct plainly covered by the text of the Second Amendment, which includes an individual's right to keep and bear arms for self-defense. He further noted that the Third Circuit in Range versus Attorney General determined, I'm almost done, this isn't very long, you guys, so the Second Amendment does not only belong to law-abiding citizens, but belongs to all people, who may then be subject to the stripping of associated rights. Therefore, the Second Amendment applies to plaintiff despite his criminal history. Additionally, the Second Amendment clearly covers a plaintiff's petition to possess firearms contrary to prohibitions of Section 922 G1. Young concluded in his statement, the court finds that the government has not carried its burden in improving the United States' tradition of firearm regulation supports stripping an individual of the right to possess a firearm because they had previously driven while intoxicated. The application of 922 G1 to plaintiff therefore constitutes a violation of his Second Amendment rights, and the court finds the plaintiff is entitled to the requested relief. So that's great. The guy's going to get his Second Amendment rights back, and probably, what did I see? He was convicted of some, what the heck was that again? Misdemeanor of some sort. So, yeah, right here. First degree misdemeanor. You shouldn't lose your Second Amendment. I mean, especially on a non-violent one. You know, some people, well, he could have killed somebody, JD. Yeah, I mean, that can happen at any point. He didn't. Misdemeanors shouldn't, especially non-violent ones, should not be akin to taking away your Second Amendment rights. And I'm glad this judge said the same thing. I love that. That's awesome. We need more judges to have common sense decisions like that. All right, Corey, you're doing good on your own. Thank you, sir. I appreciate that. Somebody's probably thinking, hey, if you guys want to say I suck on my own, go for it. It's not going to hurt my feelings. I love constructive criticism. Brown and George, but yet our founders were all having a form of drink while signing the Constitution. Brandon, I was actually thinking the same thing. These guys thought everything up in the bill, and when they were in pubs arguing with each other, fist fighting, you know, that's what they wrote it with. These guys they were sitting in their pubs drinking, and like you said, they were sitting around having their drink, writing it up. So no firearms involved. Doug, alcoholism, a disease. They can take your rights away because of a disease now. Yeah, I always kind of thought when they say alcoholism is a disease, I'm like, how's, you know, a disease to me is like cancer. You can quit drinking, you can't just quit cancer. But I'm pretty sure the founders threw a few back. Gene Cox, absolutely. Yeah, Brandon, dueling too. Yeah, dueling, or as Marty Beard always likes to say, they'd go outside and they'd slap somebody in the face with a glove. You know, it's Eric Newman says, I knew of a guy that got a ticket for riding a horse one. Yeah, I'm not saying you can't get ticketed for doing that, but stripping your rights away from that, no. And I'm the kind of guy who says if you do go to prison for something and you do your time and come out, you should still not be, you still shouldn't lose your rights. You did your time, you should get your rights back. So Lynette says, yes, they all poured a whiskey and made love. Yep. And Brandon, which president had like 53 confirmed dueling? I can't remember. There was one of them. We did have a lot of them, though. There's like, Ed Burr, maybe. I don't know. Not sure who that was, but, you know, That's I'm glad the judge reversed that, because they can just take that misdemeanor for anything then, whatever that kind of first degree misdemeanor, start taking and then that's, it's their ultimate goal is to get all your guns away. Some of them will let it slip and tell you that. Most of them won't. I think it's bull crap. So, all right. So here's what we're going to do right now before we get into a little more deer talk. Some of you know what this means. That's right. That's the theme for the happy ending. And this is a little older one, but I thought this is a pretty cool story here. Actually, comes back way back, and from February 21st, 1992, L.A., California. Police say watch shop owner kills fourth and fifth suspect. So armed robbers kept gambling that they can hold up the Watch Co. in West L.A., and they keep losing. Which is a happy ending right there before we even get to the end of the story. 2 more were shot to death Thursday at the small shop where owner Lance Thomas buys and sells expensive Rolex watches and antique pocket timepieces. That brings the total to 5 killed and 1 wounded at the shop since August of 89. So 89, 99, 89, 91, 92, 2.5 years there he's got. It's pretty good total. Shortly after 4 p.m., 2 men armed with semi-automatic pistols entered the shop in the 12100 block of Santa Monica Boulevard and, quote, made their intentions known, said L.A. Police Lieutenant Ron Hall. One of them fired a shot at an employee. The employee was not hurt, and he and Thomas returned fire. So the employee was carrying guns in there, too. That's awesome. Detectives are not determined who struck which gunman, Hall said, but a preliminary investigation indicates that Thomas shot one and the employee the other. One robbery suspect was found dead in the front of the counter and the other in the doorway. Perfect. The employee and the 2 gunmen were not identified. The only bad part about that particular self-defense shooting was somebody across the street, they don't know whose gunshot, superficial wound in the ass cheek. Hall said the gunmen, who appeared to be in their late teens, early 20s, apparently were not part of the sophisticated gang that has been robbing jewelry stores throughout L.A. area for more than a year. And I think they were doing like smash and grabs on these guys. Right. Yeah, it says right here. These are the kind of guys who hold up a bag and say, fill it. They got filled with something, copper and lead. Perfect. Thomas says, long made it known that no robber would walk out of his store. In other words, if you come in and mess with them, you're going to end up like the two fools right there, the last 2 we got. Nearby merchants say Thomas can arm himself with one of 4 guns no matter where he is in the shop, which is awesome because I got guns placed throughout my house just for that specific purpose. Oh, you're paranoid, JD. No, I'm not paranoid. I'd rather have them babies where I need them. So, and there's, looks like we got Clay. Clayton's coming in here.
How you guys doing? Probably better join in while we were taking a break.
Hang on, Clay. I'm just about done here with the happy ending here. So, and then I left a little time at the end here because I knew we were going to BS a little bit. So, like I said, the store owner long made it known that no robber is going to walk out of his store, and they haven't. And he's got the guns placed throughout his shop. So he's very proficient. He's very proficient in the use of his guns, and he knows when to use them. That's what the police chief said, their lieutenant. During a robbery attempt in August of 89, Thomas wounded a gunman just below the nose. Oh, he shoot his teeth out or what? Maybe he had one of them Hornady ballistic tips, just blew his teeth out and didn't kill him. This man has been sentenced to prison. 3 months later, Thomas shot and killed 2 armed robbery suspects who had wounded him in the neck and shoulder. So the guy got hit twice, and he still took these turds out. That's awesome. Was this guy Rambo or what? And last December, a man and a woman entered his shop asking about repairs for a broken watch. The man vaulted the counter, drew a gun, and said he was robbing the store. The intruder managed to shoot Thomas in the neck. This guy even shot like 3 times, too. But the shopkeeper grabbed 2 semi-automatic. So he got a 2 pistol in each hand and shot the gunman dead. That is freaking awesome. The woman escaped, unfortunately, but, she probably never tried to rob anything again. Hall, commander of detectives at LAPD's West LA station, said all of Thomas's previous shootings were ruled justified, adding that he believed the 2 Thursday will be ruled likewise, which they were. And Mr. Thomas ended up moving, actually, not too long ago to Vegas. My buddy actually heard this on a podcast. He moved to Vegas or Reno or something to get out of California because I think some of these gangbangers are starting to threaten his life. They're going to, come after him for taking out one of their homies, I guess. But, happy ending is the guy took out 5 scumbags who tried to rob him, and he's still alive. It's awesome. How's Clayton doing?
Oh, doing good. We're about to where we need to be, but we stopped off here at Chick-fil-A, being I know it's a good conservative outfit, so hopefully we can.
Oh, you're doing
I'm
right.
hoping as we're talking here, maybe we could tweak some liberals. You know how that goes.
Oh, yeah. We've got a few of them so far. We've been pretty tech heavy here. All right, Brandon George said it was Andrew Jackson who was the big dueling president who had a bunch of confirmed kills.
But I think we need to go back to that possibly.
Yeah, that's what I was saying about Marty bringing a leather glove out and slapping somebody across the face and doing it that way. But
challenge you to a duel.
yeah, that's what I
Well,
told you. Go ahead.
That was a good happy ending, by the way.
Oh, yeah, it was awesome, man. I love that. TJ told me about that
I
the
love
other
it when
day.
a plug ends it and they assume room temperature. That's always perfect.
5 of them. He got 5 of them in 2.5 years.
Yeah. So, no, I just thought I'd check in here. We made a quick stop, so I thought I'd see if I could even connect.
Yeah, it's coming in good. I mean,
buddy. We were listening as we were coming through St. Cloud in that area. We were tuned in. It worked pretty good.
Good deal. Good. I said the worst part about it, Clay, is when you're not talking. I'm like my second Coors Light's full, man. It sucks. Hey, Travis, how you doing?
I got like 10 miles left, and then I can crack my first one. Then I'll be good.
Awesome. Well, you got to keep that throat wet because it dries out when you got that sore throat going there.
Well, I got a little thing of moonshine in the bag. You know how that goes.
Perfect. I'll be getting plenty of that tomorrow. We're going to my wife's cousin's place down Beaver Bay, so her uncle's place and on. So he'll have plenty. I'm guessing some homemade stuff there too.
Being the boys from Alabama didn't get up the deer hunt this year. I'll have to wait till March when we get to Florida.
So I see Travis there. He just tuned in. He'll be drinking some bourbon. I think he's a Jim Beam guy.
Well, he does shoot AKs, so
that's true. He is an AK guy. Coors is like water, Eric. That's why I like it. It keeps me hydrated. But man, yeah, I've been. Lynette says, "Hey, Clay, get better."
No, I feel good. I just can't talk. It's got to happen about once a year, so I'm good.
Travis is riding with Biden. Well, yeah, that's why you got a commie rifle, Trav. You're riding with a commie. You got to have the commie gun.
You're riding with Biden. You know how that'll go. I mean, he rides the wrong way, probably.
So Corey's got the summer shandy. Yeah, I love summer shandies, Corey. That's almost like a PSL in the beer form.
Yeah.
Anybody miss out a PSL is pumpkin spice latte.
No, I like a good Pilsner. I like a good dark ale. I mean, come on.
So, Clay, you getting a deer this year, or what's the story, man?
No, I didn't see anything big enough to shoot, but I'm going to try to come home by Sunday. Maybe get out there on Sunday and see. From what I hear, that one that you and I talked about showed up again here over the week. So.
Crank up that 50.
There you go. Well, this one here, if I'm going to chase him, I better take a gun I'm very familiar with. I don't want to miss.
Yeah. Well, Clay's probably going to have a good story for us next Wednesday. Friend of the show and big bow hunter, big Second Amendment guy, Andy Elliott. Clay got him on some land, I understand, down there, Clay, and he got himself looked like a dandy of a whitetail.
He did well. He just wasn't ready to post anything yet, but I was kind of thinking maybe we should try to have him on, to tell you the truth.
Yeah. Oh, I'd love to do that. Yeah, let's do it, man. Andy's been killing a lot of stuff, so.
It was about 600 acres that he had to hunt on, and it was the right 600 acres, so he did great.
Perfect. Yeah.
You want to be on our show?
Hey, how you doing?
There, that's JD.
Hi. Clay's making friends there at Chick-fil-A.
None of these people know what our show is and how big it is, I guess.
Yeah, there you go. So, all right, Trav, don't worry. I'm not hating on your Beam or the bourbon. I'm not a whiskey guy, but I like Pendleton. But it's rum or spiced rum or Coors Light for me. So
You know, I don't mind a bourbon if it's the right bourbon, but that's an acquired taste. It really is.
Well,
Now,
Trav's
whiskey,
acquired it over the years. Trust me.
sure, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you what, guys. I'm gonna sign out. I'm gonna grab this, and then we're gonna go. So,
Sounds good, Clay. Thanks for checking in, buddy.
I'd chime in from deep in the communist nation of Minnesota.
Sounds good. Inject him with some right wing juice. All right.
Oh yeah. Talk to you later.
See you, buddy.
This is definitely gonna be an interesting.
All right. Had a nice remote check in there from Clay at Chick-fil-A. Clay at Chick-fil-A. We're even rhyming here. Corey likes the pickle vodka. All right, I've actually had some of that pretty good stuff. For whatever reason, though, that stuff gives me kind of a headache. I don't know why. I love the taste of it, but I did get a text here from somebody. What do we got here? Oh, okay. Oh, man, Dave sent me a whole stuff here about reloading, killing. All right. I'm gonna. That's too much to read for me, Dave. I'll lose track. All right. So, how you guys doing deer hunting out there? If you're able to chat, why don't you let me know? Like everybody knows there, I got my buck. We still got a buck tag to fill. Like I said, my dad's got his gratis. My buddy John's got a doe. I'm fairly confident we're gonna get a couple of those done. I don't know. Travis kind of looking for a bigger one or a weird one, but from man, we weren't seeing a whole lot of deer up there, and we left last time. We'll see what happens though. Friday's supposed to be a little cooler, nice weather. Got a few more comments here. Trav, Pendleton is for men who scoot their package between their knees and dance in front. Yeah, maybe. I think I've done that a time or two, Trav. If it's beer, it's got to be dark beer. Otherwise, it's whiskey, says Eric Newman. Was Clay trying to get us back on? What's he got going here? Was he in the bathroom? You know his phone's on or what? Anyway, yeah. So anybody? I talked to Axe from Lauer Auto. He said they've seen some and just not. He haven't seen the one he wants yet. The one I got, I watched him for a while. Not a monster. I mean, I've definitely shot bigger, shot smaller ones, but he was a 3x3. I just liked them big, tall back tines on him. And get a lot of 3x3s out there, so a lot of people don't believe in culling the herd and getting them out of there. I think it works. So, and I think a lot of road hunters wiped out a lot of 3x3s too. And we had some other weird genetics. There's like a 4x2 out there. Nothing real nice comes in. I'd love to see my buddy Travis get that one, but Corey Merriman says haven't went out yet. Seen a couple nice ones here, but might let them hopefully get bigger. That's not a bad thing to do either, Corey. We definitely passed on some like that. You always see those, and then you think to yourself, man, just don't go near the road because some road hunter who said, he's got to fill the pot or whatever we were talking about, stages of deer hunting, one of them guys blast it, which would have been a beautiful deer the next year if it makes it 2 years even. But, they got a tag. I guess they can get it on whatever land they want. Don't squat to pee, Trev. Don't worry about it, Trev. Will not. Other than that, I'm seeing one coyote. I actually got a shot at a coyote too. He led him a little too far, man, just over into the side of his nose there, and then he went over the top of the hill. So Eric Newman said my daughter shot her 2 does yesterday, and she has one left to get. My wife has 2 to get, and my son has 1. Man, you got a lot of tags to fill, Eric. That sounds like fun, buddy. Maybe get the AR out there with the drum mag in it. Kamala Harris for a stronger, better America. Yeah, right. That's worked out great in California here in the Gav Dog. Hopefully, if Cacklebox, if they get rid of Joe and run Cacklebox against Trump or whoever, I'm pretty confident we can overcome the cheating and still win that one as well. But yeah, I don't know. But coyotes, man, I think we've seen 2 or 3. That was about it. I got that one right before deer season. I had that video, but other than that, there hasn't been many coyotes. And once deer season's over here, probably going to try and do some calling on them because a lot of people up in that area say there's a ton of them. But of course, in that area, there's a lot of coyote hunters and not too. Got some more beaver on our land. I think my dad got a couple more of those suckers, some big ones. Man, they've been eating the trees to hell around there. I like beavers, but on other people's land, not ours. They got 4 dams built, big dams. They got them up. Pheasants are looking good. once deer season's over, I'm looking forward to doing some more bird hunting. They look real good. I mean, especially if it doesn't, we don't get a bunch of snow and you can't walk anywhere. It should be some damn good bird hunting in December. I don't know where it's like where you guys are at, but Eric says too much public land around here for them to get real big. East River and Minnesota hunters blast everything. Yeah, so they're like the first people we said on the 5 deer hunters. Buddy Tyson Schwab's too. Hey, Tyson, awesome. He got his cousin out, shot a hell of a nice mule deer. I think that was south of Golden Valley. Got to get together and call some. I'm in, buddy. Hey, I'm not too proud to say I'm not a real big coyote caller. I could definitely learn something from you anytime you want. I'm definitely in on calling some coyotes, and that's great, man. The older I get, actually, the more I'm getting into predator hunting. I used to just like driving around and kind of doing a road hunting thing on it, but it is a rush when you get them suckers coming in. I do enjoy that one. My buddy Travis George does that. We've called some in with him, and that's worked pretty good. And it's a blast when they come in. Your heart rate gets pumping pretty good when you get them coyotes and call them coming in, and especially when you get more than one coming in. Trav kind of got coyote fever a few years ago. I've never seen that many come in, but it worked. It worked awesome, and I'm looking forward to doing it. Brian Warner says he filled his doe tag, and Mama Joe filled her buck tag. One fox didn't shoot. I don't shoot fox either, Brian, to be honest with you. When my grandma had chickens, I did, but they don't really eat deer and stuff, so I leave them alone. Yep, Trav, later, fellas. Kidding around. I'm no kidding. You appreciate you joining in, buddy. Happy Thanksgiving to you. Brian, actually, you can go on Guns in the 701's Facebook page, and you can see Mama Joe. But she got herself a nice muley buck there. Great picture, by the way, Brian. That was a sweet picture. I got a lot of deer pictures from people, listeners, and other people sending them in. Some good stuff on there. Appreciate it. And if you guys get some, feel free. If you know my number, Clay's. If not, go ahead and send them to message it to us on Facebook, and we'll get it up on our Facebook page for you guys. Travis, let's go Trump. I freaking love you. Love you too, buddy. Appreciate you. But, hey, here we are coming up, hour and 5 minutes. I said I was going to try and keep it short because it's kind of a holiday. My wife and kids are upstairs. I don't know. We're going to probably have a few more Coors Lights and get some stuff ready for tomorrow. It's pretty fun. I actually enjoyed that when Clayton got in there. It's it got a lot more respect. Actually, I'll say this again. I've said it before. I did an hour and 5 minutes. If you do like a 2-hour radio show like me and Clay did, and you knock out the commercials, it ends up being like an hour and 10 minutes. So, and we had 3 short commercial breaks. So it was almost like doing a 2-hour show straight through, but it's fun. It's fun. I apologize if I repeat it and say, or anything else like that a couple times. Like I said, I never did a whole solo one like this. I'm fine doing it now and then, but I'd much rather have my buddy Clay here, or maybe have a guest on next time. Dave, happy Thanksgiving, everybody. Be safe. See you next week. You bet, Dave. See you next week, buddy. I'm going to check out that information you sent me. You come across any of them Spear gold dot bonded 120 grainers, let me know, because I can't find them anywhere. Josh Patterson, he's hoping to fill my doe tags this weekend. That's awesome, Josh. You get some pictures, send them to me. I mean, unless you head shoot them and vaporizes them, I probably won't put that on. I'd like to see them either way, or you can email them to us too. That's fine. We got the email. So, but with that, guys, I'll let you know. Like I said, for every Friday, 8:15 a.m. Central, we're on with Mitchell in the morning, KFYR 550 a.m., 99.7 FM, and iHeartRadio. And we're on till about 9 o'clock every Friday. This Friday, we're not going to be. Clay, like you just seen Clay, he's getting to Minnesota. He's with family, and I'm going to be up at the farm again. I know I did the show last week, but we got a lot of deer to get after, so we're going to try and get that done. And other than that, appreciate you guys joining us every Wednesday, 7 p.m. Central, 6 p.m. Mountain. And I hope everybody has a happy and safe Thanksgiving. Again, appreciate you tuning in, hanging with me. We had a good audience retention tonight. You guys are awesome. Love you. And happy Thanksgiving to you, Brian. Appreciate you, buddy, and from fellow MVE out there. You guys, thanks for joining. JD, next week I'll be back with Clayton. regularly scheduled time. Hopefully everybody gets that doe tag. Happy Thanksgiving, Corey. Thank you. And hopefully you guys get all your deer tags filled. Have fun with your family and friends. Get out there, enjoy it looks like it's going to be a beautiful weekend. Take out. Hey, Josh, happy Thanksgiving to you too, buddy. Good luck to you hunting as well. So we'll catch you guys next week. Appreciate you tuning in. Rock on, Gene Cox. You do rock, buddy. We got to have you on as a guest as well. Gene's fun. We'll talk some guns, buddy. So we'll see you guys next week. JD, I'm out. Happy Thanksgiving to you.